All right, we are recording. We're going to go back here. All right. This should be good now. Okay. Hope everybody's doing good for Tuesday night. Again, thank you for being here. Let everybody let me know, just kind of wave and make sure you can hear me okay. I am unmuted. Okay, thanks Heather for the heads up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We will, like I said, we are live streaming and this will be recorded for those who also cannot attend tonight. I know there are some people that wanted the recording and couldn't come last minute. I totally get it. Life happens. Just how it happens, right? Here's a couple others here getting in here. So let's wait a second. Ding dong, ding dong. Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, ladies. Okay, I see you all in here. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Got Heather, Jennifer, Stephanie. Dinka, is that you? Can't tell. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I want to, woo, that went fast. Everybody can see my screen, right? That says heal your hormones. Hopefully everybody can see that. Yep, thumbs up. Just want to make sure the screen is going. Okay, good, good, awesome. Perfect, beautiful. I'm going to move you guys over. So I'm not going to see everybody. Like I said, we will do a Q&A at the end, so just stay tuned at the end. All right, I'm going to get going because I want to honor your time. Like I said, 6:03 as people come in, I'll still allow them in. So anyways, welcome to girls, ladies, women from all over. Thanks for being here tonight. I just want to, welcome you. I love doing these master classes every now and then. This is, I think, the third one I've done on the hormones. Everybody has hormones, right? Men have hormones too. We all have hormones. So this isn't just for ladies. We're also going to talk about testosterone, which men and women both have, right? So we're going to talk about a little bit. First and foremost, I will not be given medical advice. I am not a licensed doctor, so I will not be giving any medical advice. And I cannot tell you whether or not to take your medications or not. So full disclosure there. Please seek the advice of your doctor for any kind of medical advice. Disclaimer, as I say. All right. So without further ado, welcome to the introduction to hormone health. We're going to discover the latest hormone balancing techniques for improved quality of life, both physically and mentally. I also want to point out too, there is not going to be any specific, for you specifically, everybody's different, right? Everybody's different and down to their DNA. So this is very generalized information, but we can make it customized to you and you can make it customized to yourself as you are learning this information and see how it applies to you as well. Okay. All right. So hormone health. Who here has experienced like any kind of PCOS, endometriosis, fibroids, cysts, perimenopause, menopause, any of those symptoms, right? They're quite common. And they can happen at any age. Full disclosure, I was diagnosed with endometriosis when I was like 16 years old. And I've had my issues with all of that stuff. So not PCOS yet. I don't want that. But I'm also approaching the perimenopause age. So when I started going through that and then going through this, I'm like, you know, I found there's a huge need that we all need to come together as a collective. And we definitely need to know more about this and how we can treat it naturally rather than using and just jumping to the pills and the pellets and all those HRT and whatnot. Okay. All right. Oops. So unpleasant symptoms, like I said, can cause stress in your lives. All the symptoms I listed. How often do you wish you could just make it through the day without experiencing these symptoms? I sure wish I had options, right? Yeah, Heather's raising her hand in the back. The good news is everyone can incorporate proper hormone health into their life. Yay! Even if you don't experience all these symptoms, or maybe one or from time to time, it's still important at some point in your life. You need to address hormone health because we all have hormones and they are affected and they're being affected. Okay. I'm going to mute you right there. Okay. All right. So it says, do you ever feel tired even through the day, when you get plenty of sleep? That's a symptom. So we're going to talk about symptoms a little bit, and we're going to talk about some some deep and what is estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, how they work. And then we're going to bring it all together. I'm going to tell you some things about how to start doing some things naturally at home. Do you feel depressed, anxious, but not sure why? These are symptoms as well. Are you experiencing low libido, low sex drive, noticing more hair in your brush than normal? Those are all hormone symptoms as well. I'm admitting someone else in here. So low libido, hair in your brush. Well, the answer is if you've experienced some of those, help is here. And we're going to go into that a little bit further here. So you're in the right place tonight if you want to lose that unexplained resistant weight gain around the belly. That's probably one of the most common symptoms of hormone imbalances is unexplained weight gain for no reason around the mid-belly section. Women see that especially around menopause, perimenopause, but also PCOS and things like that. That's a common symptom, you guys. And just, I want to tell you right now, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. When estrogen drops and our progesterone drops, then we have some issues here. And then cortisol can spike and then the belly fat stays on. Okay. And then if we have stress, what happens also? Estrogen gets depleted, cortisol goes up, and then more fat goes on. So it goes back to not just, when I say it's not just your fault, it's also going back to like environmentally and what's going on in your life too. There's a lot of factors that play into this. But darn it, it's those hormones. They do play the biggest factor in that. Why is this? There we go. Thing wasn't moving on me. Okay. Well, I got to move this over. Sorry, guys. Okay. Again, symptoms. If you want to decrease some symptoms you've been experiencing, again, we're going to talk about that. Maybe you want some more energy. Who doesn't want more energy? Everybody needs more energy nowadays, right? We're all a little tired. And then the next thing is, these are also some other symptoms that I'm going to dive into even a little bit. We're going to park here for just a second and talk about these. These are the more common symptoms that that everybody feels. The mental stuff, the brain fog. Oh my gosh, brain fog is no fun if you've experienced brain fog. Like the words just don't come out. It's the worst. And that is a symptom of hormone imbalance, or it can be. Doesn't mean that you're just aging, guys. Okay. And the mental shifts of the ups and the downs and the depression and things like that. That's a big sign of that. Skin and hair problems. I mentioned the hair loss, skin, itchy skin, dry skin, feel like you can't put enough lotion on. Right. You feel me? Sleep disorders, insomnia, not getting enough sleep. You feel like you're so dang tired, but you can't get enough sleep no matter what you do, or you're waking up in the middle of the night. That's because those are fluctuations in our hormones. Digestive problems. That's another big one. Irritable bowel syndrome is not just irritable bowel syndrome. It can be caused from hormones, guys. So acid reflux can be one. There's a lot of different symptoms that can occur with the digestive system because the female organs are down there lower too, guys, right? So it all gets infected, just like how she has a hot water bottle. You know how when you have your period sometimes and you'll get I'll just say it, you'll get diarrhea, you get the runs sometimes because it's all kind of affected and affects your GI. That's why it's your hormones. Period problems, like I said, period problems, cramping, bad cramps, heavy bleeding, clotting, all of those things mean that that's not normal. That's not normal. Your OBGYN might tell you these are normal problems, and they're normal because it happens a lot, but it's not normal. We shouldn't be having these issues, guys. Did you actually know, fun fact, that actually menopause, yes, it's a natural thing where women go through the change, but the symptoms of menopause are not so natural. Women should not be experiencing all these horrible symptoms when they go through menopause. It should be fairly easy transition. Way back when, it wasn't a big deal. Now women are having to resort to the HRT and the other things, right? Okay. Muscles and bones, weakness and aches in your muscles, bone loss, brittle nails. If you've noticed your nails are brittle, those are also classic symptoms. Weight loss, fat loss, having issues either. And actually you can even have weight gain and you can have weight loss too. Definitely. Usually it's on the weight gain side of things, but sometimes people have issues with even gaining weight too. And that could be a symptom. I'm totally just telling you right now, I'm apologizing. The dogs over here are playing in my office. So just if you hear them, that's them. It's life. Body temperature. That's another one. Oh my gosh, you ever get the hot flashes or like, oh my gosh, like all of a sudden you're like freezing, next minute you're hot, or most women experience the hot flashes, but a lot of times you can even just be cold all the time too. These are all symptoms, but are they normal? They are, but they aren't. Okay, so we're going to dive into that more. So again, we want to start feeling again naturally. That's why you're here. That's why you want to get some tips and tricks from me, right? By the way, just curious, there's a little bottle over here of essential oils. That is something that I use for one of my remedies for hormones. And just curious if anybody else uses has tried essential oils, because that is something that can help too. And if you guys want to chat to me, you can put it in the chat. There's a chat box and you can put a little chat and talk to me. Okay, so what are we going to learn? Well, we just learned a little bit already, right? But what are hormones? We're going to talk about the different kinds because a lot of people get confused. Okay, what do testosterone, progesterone, and estrogen do? The symptoms and causes of estrogen dominance. Ooh, ED. That's a big one too. How to get rid of excess estrogen and detox it from your body. There's natural ways of going about that. There's natural supplements you can take, but there's also just eating cleaner and eating differently can also help. What is perimenopause and how is it different from menopause? Ooh, that's a good one, right? A lot of people don't know the difference, and there is a difference, guys, between the two. Okay, so first things first, what are hormones? They're powerful, excuse me, I get tongue-tied and I get dry, so excuse me. They're powerful chemicals that travel around your bloodstream. They tell your tissues and organs what to do, and they help control many of your body's major processes, like your metabolism and your reproduction, your ability to have children, right? But as we get older, we may not want children as we get older, but we do care about our metabolism, right, guys? So they are vital. So when it's an imbalance, what is a hormonal imbalance? Having too much or too little of any given hormone. Quite frankly, I cannot talk tonight. It can have serious and negative effects on your body, as we know, because we just went over all the symptoms. Perimenopause and menopause are normal hormonal cycle changes. Yes, like I said, they are normal, but the symptoms of them and the extreme symptoms of them are not so normal, and we don't want them, right? No, they can go bye-bye. Okay, do women have testosterone? Of course they do, right? We all do. So while testosterone is considered to be the male hormone, but women also produce it. We need it, ladies, we need it. We just make less than men. We don't want more testosterone we have, the more machismo we can be, and we can get some facial hair and stuff like that. We don't want that. And when we have high testosterone, that's where we can be PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, can play a part. So in lab work, when I look at lab work, if you get your hormones checked with me or with your doctor, I can review your labs. We look at the different levels. And if there's high testosterone, that's a clear indication you might be in we call PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And so we need to look at that. And why is your testosterone high? Okay, and there's a lot of factors for that. What is progesterone? This one is the only one we get to claim. The progesterone is only in women, right? And it's produced after ovulation in the second half of the menstrual cycle. But when we go through perimenopause, menopause, our progesterone goes like this, okay? And we need it. I wish we could have it forever and ever, but we don't, unfortunately. It goes down, it tanks. So that's when birth control pills are prescribed sometimes, and other hormones. You can get progesterone from your OBGYN prescribed to your doctor. And sometimes that helps women a lot. What is estrogen? We all know what estrogen is. Everybody knows we have estrogen. It's the key sex hormone found in both men and women. It's the most important female sex hormone. We need it for so much. We need it for bone strength. We need it for muscles. We need it, ladies, we need it to live. We need it for our brains. And of course, we have the higher levels and the men have the higher levels of testosterone. Got it. So estrogen, it's necessary for the important functions of childbearing, right? Obviously, when we are going through our late 40s and the 50s, we don't care about that so much, right? Or most of us don't. And so we don't, you might say, oh, I don't care about having estrogen, Tavia. Well, we do need it still, because look at the second one here. It says managing your cholesterol. Who would have thought that, right? So if you are experiencing some high cholesterol numbers right now and your estrogen is out of whack or out of balance, we need to look at that. So estrogen is stored in your liver, and so is cholesterol. Another fun fact. So the other thing is we need estrogen to protect that bone health. So you hear about osteoporosis, right? For women, not a good thing. Osteopenia, we don't want any of that. So that's why, even though we know as we age, estrogen is going to go down, there's still ways we can control it and help manage it naturally. So when your estrogen levels get out of balance with your other hormones like progesterone, it causes all those symptoms and health issues that we talked about, right? In low estrogen, younger women and women approaching menopause have the lower levels. Even younger women do, okay? It's during those childbearing years is when it peaks the most. That's why they say when you're in those peak years, you know, early 20s to like mid 30s, you know, that's when it usually peaks in there. Oops. Went by too fast. Okay, I want to talk about estrogen dominance, ED. So this is increasingly common hormonal imbalance. Too much estrogen in relation to progesterone. So you can have estrogen dominance, or you can have estrogen, like low estrogen or high estrogen. Excuse me. So estrogen dominance is not something we want either. That can cause a lot of issues too. And so you can have high estrogen, high testosterone. You can have low testosterone, low estrogen. It can be whatever. Everybody's different, you guys. And so that, and I can't emphasize enough, if you haven't ever had your hormones checked, go get them done. And if you need me to order the labs for you, get them done, contact me and we'll get them done for you. I also do an estrogen panel that also doesn't just check your estrogen, checks your cortisol, checks your DHEA. It's a very cool panel. And it's just a spit test. It's not even blood. So you don't even have to go to the lab. So remember that if you need that, contact me. Symptoms of ED are fatigue, irritability, autoimmune diseases like Hashimoto's, and thyroid dysfunction, candida overgrowth, and hormonal cancers even. So ED, estrogen dominance, that's what we see a lot in breast cancer too. So we don't want that as either. Gosh, it's like so sticky, right? It's like, well, what do we want? We just want balance. That's what we want, right? And it's so hard to get that. More symptoms of ED for women: weight gain, mainly in the hips, waist, thighs, menstrual problems such as light or heavy bleeding, PMS, and fibrocystic breasts. That's another thing. Also, side note, make sure get your mammogram. We just passed the month of October, but still, if you haven't done your mammogram, get your mammogram if you're in that age, and especially in your 40s, I believe, or a history in the family of breast cancer. It's very important to get those done. Also, other symptoms are uterine fibroids. I'm making up all these words tonight. It's kind of funny. Fatigue, low sex drive, depression, and anxiety. None of which are fun. Other estrogen conditions. Oh, the top one, endometriosis. That was me at 16. Endometriosis, just for those of you who don't know what endometriosis is basically you have endometrium lining in your uterus, okay? And endometrium is produced, it's not to be gross, but it's that brown stuff that you shed prior to having your cycle or your period before the red stuff comes. And endometrium or endometriosis tissue grows outside, and it can even grow like on your bowels. It can grow on your organs even if it gets out of control. A new study just came out. If you know someone with endometriosis and you want to share this information, share this, please. They did link gut bacteria to endometriosis, which I was very excited to hear this report. This just came out like this summer. And because I had tons of gut issues, guys, when I was a kid growing up, I had tons of stomach issues. And so I'm like, now this makes sense to me. So if it's directly related to some gut dysbiosis, which is another whole topic and another masterclass I'll talk about if you guys are interested. PCOS, again, I mentioned that a couple times, premenopause and fibroids. Those are all estrogen. Okay, let's talk about men and testosterone. If men don't produce enough testosterone, it can cause the following symptoms: enlarged breasts. We don't want that. Sexual dysfunction and infertility. So again, we all have hormones. It's not just for us women, it's men too. Hey, that's enough. Ozzy, oh, they're just fighting over a ball. If men don't produce enough testosterone, it can also cause loss of muscle, bone mass, difficulty concentrating, like brain fog, like what we have too, and hot flashes. Men have hot flashes too. Isn't that crazy? So there's similar symptoms. What causes buildup of estrogen? Let's talk about this. Xenoestrogens in our modern environment found in our food, water, personal care products, furniture, and clothes. I want to talk about this for a second. So we just talked about excess estrogen, right? And the buildup. So this is, I want you to take note. This is one thing that you can start doing right now. And that is make sure you are drinking clean water, making sure your food is clean too. But like organic things, make sure you're washing your food. All our food nowadays, a lot of it, I won't say all of it, has hormones in it, unfortunately, like a lot of our meat. So make sure you're getting it organic, you guys, the best you can, and drinking clean water. I'm drinking this Eternal Water spring water right now. It's out of a bottle. It's good water. I don't recommend drinking out of a bottle. I do have stainless steel tumblers that I use, or glass. Usually when I'm sitting here, but I just grab this for the lack of the thing tonight. But yeah, so think about that, the plastic tube. Personal care products also have endocrine disruptors. They have disruptors of hormones in them. A lot of soaps, detergents, lotions, things like that. So you want to look for less parabens, the less chemicals, the better. Okay, when we're talking about estrogen. So if you are experiencing some hormone issues, I can't emphasize enough. Look at the labels. Look at what you're eating. Look at what you're putting on your body. All the things. Okay. Even our furniture, guys, has estrogen in it. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. Food, again, like I said, animals are injected with growth hormones. And they make them bigger and faster to increase their milk production. It's sad. It's really sad. But what happens is we eat that food and it's passed down to us. And then we're getting the excess hormones. What else causes it? Pesticides, herbicides, everything in the air, fungicides found on conventional produce. Wash your produce. Wash your produce, okay? Wash it with some vinegar, some vinegar. You can buy vinegar and water. You will be surprised if you wash your stuff, how much yuck can come off of it. It's gross. It's so gross. And all of that causes hormone disruption. Who would have thunk it, right? In some geographic areas, water has become heavily polluted and hormone disrupting compounds, including pesticides, fertilizers, synthetic and natural estrogens from livestock, and prescription medications. Again, water. Water is a huge source. So do not drink your tap water, guys. I'm telling you right now, don't drink your tap water. Even if you have a Brita filter, I'm telling you, the Brita's not getting rid of all of it right now. Okay. I'm sorry to tell you. I would filter it and filter it and filter it and look at a different filter. I think the Brita, I will say the Brita did come out with a newer filter. I was just reading up about this, but tap water is, they put chlorine in it. If you turn on your tap, you'll smell the chlorine. It's really crazy. Now, what about well water? People say, well, I got good well water. Okay. Make sure you get your well tested. Get it tested. That's all I'm saying. Get it tested. Make sure there's no nitrates. I would still purify some water. Water it's crazy what's in our water. Other things, like I mentioned, cosmetics, lotions, shampoos, soaps, toothpaste, and many more. All of those are sitting in my bathroom right now. All of them are sitting in your bathroom right now. All of those can cause they're called endocrine disruptors, and they build up more estrogen. So if you here's the thing, if you wash your hair every single day and you look at your shampoo bottle and look at the parabens, look at the synthetic stuff in it, and you're having issues with your hormones, just take note of that. Take note of that, okay? Okay, what also causes buildup of estrogen? The gut microbiome. I just talked about endometriosis, right? And I talked about estrogen. and how endometriosis and the gut were linked, right? So again, this actually came out, I put this together even before that study came out. So when they came out study, I was like, I'm onto something. But the gut dysbiosis, the gut microbiome, and an imbalance of bacteria in the gut. So you may say, oh, so I just need to have a probiotic? No. I want to touch a moment just real quick on probiotics too. Not all probiotics are the same. There's so many of them on the market, right? There's so many different 5 billion, 10 billion, so many different strains of probiotics out there. So they're not all created equally. So how do you know which one to get? Well, one thing you can do, if you're here locally with me, I can also muscle test you to see which one your body needs, but also just looking at the overall whole picture of your gut, what you're eating, how much water you're drinking, everything like that, I can direct you into that as well. So if you're taking a probiotic, not sure which one you're on, talk to me, set up a consult with me, and we can kind of talk about that too if you need help around that. Okay, again, water bottles, food wrapping. Oh, cellophane, good old cellophane, saran wrap, plastics, those all have BPA. Storage containers. Use glass if you can, not the plastic. And I know, guys, you got to take the Tupperware to work and you make your meals. I get it. I get it. It's really hard to avoid all of this. I totally get it. I'm not perfect by any means. I have plastic water bottles in there and I have plastic containers. I do, but I also have glass. I do have glass. I get it. But again, this is for you to take these pieces of these nuggets and this information and apply how you can. You don't have to try and do it all at once. I don't expect that. Okay. What causes buildup of estrogen? Another thing, heavy metals. What are you talking about? So heavy metals are in our water, especially if you live where I live in the Tri-Cities, where we have the Columbia River. There's lead. There's lead in our water. And I know there's lead in our water. Mercury. Guys, fillings. You have any silver fillings in your mouth? Those have mercury. I'm going to tell you to possibly go get those taken out or look at getting them taken out and getting the white ones, the composites in. Every time you're crunching down, those can be affecting your estrogen and your hormones and disbalancing your hormones. Who would have thought that, right? Metals. Metals are also in our water, in our soil. They can be, like I said, in the fillings in our mouth. They do some of the pokes, I'm not going to name names, can contain them. You can do your own research on that. Yeah. So excess body fat stored on the hips, waist, and thighs, that will also, that alone will cause more estrogen buildup. No, it's like we just can't get a break, right? It's one thing after another. Men have it so easy. Hormone replacement therapy and birth control pills containing estrogen also can contain buildup of estrogen. Now you say, well, birth control pills are supposed to regulate your estrogen, right? And they do, but over time they can create a buildup. My dog just got into the garbage. Guess who that was, Gemma? Chronic stress. Another one. Chronic stress causes your body to use progesterone to make cortisol and then creates estrogen dominance. So when you're stressed, that's not good either. Okay, guys. I mentioned that earlier. When stress goes up, what happens? Cortisol starts pumping out, estrogen progesterone can tank, and it's all over. So maintaining a healthy, stressful state helps. How do we do that? Breathe, exercise, walk, do things to control your stress as much as you can. Okay, so how do we get rid of this estrogen and balance our hormones? Right, here we go. So we eat clean food. I mentioned that. Seems so easy to do, right? And it's not always easy to do, and it's expensive, especially grocery prices right now, right? It's hard. Some other foods that have hidden estrogen: meat, like your deli meat, dairy, and some produce. So one thing that I do recommend, sorry guys, give me 1 second, dog is getting into something here, is if you are experiencing any kind of hormonal disimbalance or estrogen dominance, anything, I would get off the dairy. Don't do soy. but do almond milk, cashew milk, macadamia nut milk, rice milk, some other milk alternative because of the dairy and the hormones that can be in there. Here's another tip. Here's some other things that you can start doing. Consume plenty of fiber. Fiber in raspberries, apples, avocados, nuts, soluble fiber, flax seeds, beans, legumes, whole grains, chickpeas, pears, strawberries. All of these, if you even just ate a bunch of these, I'm telling you what, it would make a change in things over a period of about 90 days. And I want to point that out too. Guys, it takes 90 days for a hormone change. Write that down. 90 days. Okay. It takes 120 days for a complete red blood cell change, out with the old, in with the new. So one of the things that I like to point out to my clients is when you are taking a supplement of anything, take it for 90 days consistently. Take it consistently, especially if it's a hormone thing. Why? Because your hormones are just shifting. About 45 days, they're about midstream. They're just starting to make that change. And then if you stop, you're going to tank back down. Anything you take a supplement wise, take it consistently 3 to 4 months. And I promise you, you will see results. I promise you. But half the people that come into my office, half my clients that come to me, they'll take things for a month and say, oh, I didn't see a difference. I didn't see a thing. And I said, and the questions are, did you take it for 3 months like I told you? Or did you take it consistently? No, I missed a couple days here and there. I don't know why it is, but we are so lackadaisy when it comes to taking our supplements and our vitamins. We're all guilty of it, right? But when it comes to the doctor giving us a prescription, oh, we're on that. We take that religiously. And I see that all the time too. And I'm not harping on y'all because I'm guilty too. I've done it too, but not anymore because I learned. But so you get my point. 90 days, take it, do it, try it, and you'll see results. I know that seems so far along, but guys, it's November right now. Weren't we just in summer? So think about how time passes so quickly. It really does. Okay, also eat cruciferous vegetables, cauliflower, cabbage, garden cress, bok choy, Brussels sprouts, broccoli. Eat your greens. Eat those things as much as you can. I know this sounds so simple and so stupid, like, oh, Tavia, I knew this, I could do this, but we don't eat enough veggies. I know I don't. I supplement. One product that I really like is broccoli sprout extract. And that's, I carry a supplement here, and it actually helps with the excess estrogen as well. So if you're interested in that, again, we can talk about that in a private consultation. And that is something that I also recommend if you don't eat enough greens. So there is ways around it, but I'm still sticking to the thing that I'm still recommending you eat your greens. Okay, again, how to get rid of excess estrogen and balance your hormones. I mentioned this earlier, filter your water. Install water filters on your taps and shower heads if you can, especially the shower head, and especially in the town I live in, because we have a nuclear plant by us. Again, plastics, we talked about that. Replace your plastic storage containers and water bottles with glass stainless steel, like I mentioned earlier. Watch for endocrine disrupting products, perfumes. If you wear perfumes, I got to tell you right now, and if you're having any kind of perimenopause, menopause symptoms, stop. Those are like the biggest things that interrupt your hormones. And your doctor probably never told you that, right? And even hair care that has a lot of fragrance in it, it can do that too. So get the natural stuff as much as possible. Just start making little changes, and I promise you, you'll start to see little changes in your life too. Exercise, right? I know everybody says exercise will do it. Physical activity can help normalize that estrogen levels in both premenopausal and postmenopausal women. So getting just 20, 30 minutes in a day will help. I promise you that too. So start putting some exercise into your routine. One of the simplest things too you can do is just do like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes morning, 10 minutes at night, 15 or 15. Split it up even. You don't even have to do it all in one. It still counts, you guys. So, and then I mentioned relieving stress, yoga, meditation, getting enough sleep to let your body recover from the stress during the day. Guys, if we don't sleep, and we'll talk about sleep for a second. Sleep is such a big deal. Such a big deal. Someone's coming in. Sleep is how is when we do our restorative processes, right? When our cycle goes through. If you are not sleeping, and most people who are in perimenopause, menopause, don't sleep very good. And that's unfortunate, and it's sucky. But we have to get some sleep. If you need some sleep techniques, if you need some sleep stuff, again, reach out to me. I have a ton of sleep tips, and we can talk about that in a quick session too. Maybe I just need to do something about sleep, right? I may do that because I have a whole slew of things you can do for getting to sleep and not taking melatonin. If you're taking melatonin for sleep, it's a hormone, guys. We don't need more hormones. A lot of people reach for melatonin first. Make sure you're not just reaching for the melatonin, okay? We don't need to add more complications. Oops, other way. Okay, so what can you start doing today? Eat your protein. Here's these are like my top 4 or 5 things that you could start doing today to help start balancing your hormones. Start eating protein in the morning. Women, we need about 30 grams. So get a protein shake, 20 grams, put some more collagen in, put some stuff in it, put some greens in it, eat protein in the morning. In the morning, I know a lot of women like to fast too, and that's okay. Fasting is okay, but we need to also look at the balance of the hormones. So if you're fasting and you're not losing the weight like you want to lose, we need to look at your hormones. Let me look at your blood work. Let me look at some things for you so we can make it work, because fasting isn't for everyone. I mean, it's for everyone. Everybody can do it. It's safe, to do, but we got to look at the whole picture of the pie. Okay. But ideally you need to eat protein. Most women, we undereat. I know I do. I'm supposed to get about 95 grams of protein a day, and I'm 5'8" and I weigh 150 pounds. So that's what mine's 90 to 95 grams of protein is what's recommended for me. So you do the math around you. And do I get that today? Oh no. If I think about it, I didn't get enough. And when we have lack of protein, it doesn't help our muscle tone. It doesn't help our digestion. It doesn't help our metabolism. So protein is so important. The second thing is cutting out alcohol. Guys, if you are consuming alcohol, where does the alcohol get processed? In the liver, right? Your liver, what did I say earlier? Your liver stores estrogen. Your liver stores cholesterol. So if you are drinking excess alcohol, and I'm not talking about like you can go out on the weekend and have a glass of wine or two, that's fine. But if you are experiencing some serious hormone issues and you're drinking every like 5-6 times a week, or just a glass even every night, I would probably change that. And you may see some things change. Okay. Alcohol is a big endocrine disruptor. It affects the hormones. It tanks the hormones. Okay. Make sleep a priority. Set your hours, get your 7 to 8 hours sleep. Ladies, a new study also just came out. Ladies need more sleep than men. They finally said it. We need more sleep. Because we're so complicated, I guess. I don't know. No, it's because of our hormones. So make sleep your priority. I love sleep. I'm going to go to bed early tonight. I love it. The other thing is resistance weight bearing exercises. You guys, you don't need to be pumping a ton of iron, but even if you can get some weights, I have them right by my couch over there, my sofa, and I keep them underneath my coffee table. And so I'll just grab them when I'm sitting there watching a movie, and I'll just start lifting them. There's, why not, right? And I'll do some overheads, and I'll do some of these and stuff like that. It's something. It's better than nothing. Resistance weight-bearing exercises also helps with not only hormones, but bone health, okay? So these are the 4 things you can start doing tomorrow. Don't do them tonight. They're late tonight. Okay, so I'm going to do some frequently asked questions here. And then I'm going to open everybody up, and then people can, I'm going to do, these are like 5 Q&As that I get asked the most. And then I'm going to open it up and you guys can ask me any questions for a few minutes. Does a hormonal imbalance cause acne? Yes. Acne can be caused by fluctuations in your hormones. This is referred to as hormonal acne. Even though hormonal acne is typically associated with teenagers, it can affect adults at any age, though most common in women, such as during other life phases of hormonal fluctuation, like during a woman's cycle and menopause and menopause. Next question. I experience a lot of hair loss when I brush my hair or take out a shower. Could this be related? Yes. Hair loss or thinning is common for women during menopause as they experience fluctuating hormone levels. Men can also experience hair loss as a result of hormone imbalance. So again, it's not just us. Men have issues too. I think I may be in perimenopause, Tavia, but I'm not quite sure because I'm only in my 40s. What signs should I be looking for? Although the average is 4 years that a woman is in perimenopause, it can last for up to 10 years to menopause, which is considered 1 full year after your last period. So the most common signs are hot flashes, breast tenderness, worsening PMS, irregular periods, longer, shorter, lighter, heavy, more cramping, lower sex drives, mood swings, fatigue, and trouble sleeping. So if you're experiencing those and you're like in your 40s, you can even experience these in your later 30s. We don't like you to, but if you are, then we definitely need to make sure we're doing things sooner than later to reverse this and get you back into a healthier state. How do you get diagnosed with hormone imbalance? Well, your healthcare practitioner, medical doctor, medical specialist, endocrinologist, or me, functional health practitioner, or naturopath, can determine if you have hormone levels that are out of optimal range. This is usually done through blood, saliva, or urine tests. I do saliva because it's less invasive of poking you with a needle, and it's just a spit test. So if you're interested in that, we can talk about that. A friend recommended that I try HRT, hormone replacement therapy, for my suspected hormone imbalance. Is this a good recommendation? Well, I would always say consult with your healthcare practitioner who is qualified and well-versed in this. But ask if there are alternative protocols you can try in place of synthetic hormone replacement therapy, like we discussed: diet, supplements, lifestyle changes. Bioidentical hormone replacement therapy is safe. And they've had new studies on that. So there is that as well. And my dog just turned on the heater behind me. I'm like, so those also are alternatives. Bioidentical hormone is different than HRT. And so there's a lot of things out there. Okay. And okay. All right. Well, that is the conclusion of the webinar. I'm going to open everything up for questions. Everybody can join. If you want to have any questions, I will ask them right now. The line, everything's open. So what's next after this webinar? You can also, I want to encourage you to sign up for my free Facebook group, you guys. And I will send you, I know everybody that's registered for this, so you will have a link sent to you if you don't. Everybody can have a free discovery call with me as well. I do those for a minute. And then, or you can take action and we can get started on a complete healing journey. I also have other programs and things we can talk about, but we can do that in a discovery call. So those are kind of options of working with me or questions you have for me moving forward. Okay, I'm going to stop the share on that. And here I am back. Oh, anybody have any questions for me right now? Heather, I have you unmuted. Did you have any questions, hon?
So I have PCOS, I have fibroids, and what was the other one? Everything, and kidney stones. But so when I have kidney stones, what kind of diet do I have to do? Do I have to do like an organic diet kind of thing too? Even though I have I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and yes, I know that I guess when you drink regular milk, you have the hormones in it, you know. So yeah. I was told by my gynecologist organic.
Yep, that's good. Always eat organic, but yeah, good.
So, and I also have a birth control implant, which basically is to help, I guess, basically to help with my periods, I guess. So
good.
Yeah, I have that because my periods were very imbalanced and very irregular.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gotcha. Yeah. So going back to the kidney thing. So the kidney thing is not so much about organic. Actually, kidney stuff, kidney stones, that's a whole nother topic, but usually it goes back to the foods you eat, and you want to eat a low oxalate diet. That's a
Okay.
big word, oxalate. It's OXLATES.
Mhm.
Because we produce more oxalates and that affects the kidneys. Obviously, hydration's a big issue too. So you want to make sure you're hydrating yourself a lot, drinking a lot of water, staying away from caffeine, things like that. So,
I don't drink caffeine very often, and I heard that. Well, I have uterine fibroids too, but mine are on the back of my uterus. So yeah,
mm,
you don't want polycystic ovarian syndrome on top of that, which is very
no, no fun. No
no.
fun.
It's
Yeah.
just like with you and endometriosis. Yes,
Yeah.
no.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you said you didn't want to have PCOS. I was like, yeah, Tavia doesn't want to. I don't think she ever wants to
No,
because it's very
I don't wish that upon anybody.
yeah. But yeah,
Awesome.
like, should
Okay.
I just stick with that kind of diet, just organic for the PCOS and the fibroids? Because I haven't had a flare up yet. Hallelujah. I
That's good. That's good.
should
Yeah.
say
Book a consult with,
that, but
oh, you're cutting in and out.
you know,
Think we're got a low band. Yeah, it says low bandwidth. I was just gonna say, book
uh-oh.
a consult with me or talk with me, and we'll talk about. I can help you more with your diet and stuff for specifics. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
That would be great.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Did you have any questions, Inka? Is
Don't have no question. That was great information. Thank you for sharing all of those great things. I'm learning all about it. So it's very interesting. It's like all familiar stuff, but it's nice to confirm hearing from
yeah,
somebody's experience or how somebody is
right.
applying those ideas to everyday life. So I'm looking forward to see you soon.
Yeah. See you in a couple of days. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here and thank you for showing up. I appreciate you being here, all of you. Thank you. So,
Thank you. So
yeah.
thank you so much. It seems I can't wait. There's really no many questions, but there's so many
Okay.
questions, and I love to hear those information. That was perfect. I'm glad I've joined that.
Excellent. Good. Okay, great.
Thank you
All
so much for
righty.
your time. So see you
You're
then.
welcome. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Awesome. Well, if nobody else has any further questions, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Yeah.
we'll commence and we'll end here. And everybody have a great evening. And thank you again for being here. I appreciate you all. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.